but I could not have done this show. I could not have possibly sat in this chair without the opportunity, without the pleasure, without the honor of speaking to the brand spanking new UFC Interim. And I say interim like this because in my mind, he's the undisputed champion. In the heavyweight division, what he did on Saturday, what he's done over the past year, what he's done over the course of his career, nothing short of amazing. He stamped it with an incredible win. 69 seconds is all it took to dispose of Sergei Pavlovich. He's the pride of England. He's the pride of Manchester. He's the pride of Wigan. He's our very own Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. La da 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 da. Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Tommy! Wow, this is amazing. In the flesh. How are you, sir? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And just right off the bat, I want to say thank you always to you for the support. Thank you for the channel. Thank you for the YouTube stuff. And yeah, you supported me from the beginning. So over the past few years, it's been rough. We've had a lot of up and downs, but we made it and we're here. And thank you for that.
I love the smile on your face. You're glowing off the screen. You said on Saturday, it didn't sink in yet when you were meeting with the press, like 30 minutes later. Now that you're back in your familiar home setting, is it feeling real, what has just happened to you?
Yes, I've kind of took a day. So I arrived back in the UK early this morning, like 6 a.m. I took the night flight. I took the red eye, as you guys call it.
Yes.
And I just wanted to have a day just to be home, just to be away from the madness, just to let it all sink in a little bit. And yeah, I'm feeling like the heavyweight champion of the world, man. I'm feeling good.
I love that. I won't bring up the fact that you were literally like a mile away from my studio and you could have come in with the belt and then taken the night flight tonight. So close, Tom. We were so close to making, but this is just as good.
Sorry.
No, this is just as good. I'm not mad about it at all. I just want to let you know. I think it's fantastic that you're back home and able to be with the family. You said something there that was really important. You feel like the heavyweight champion. I feel like you're the best heavyweight in the world. And I know this will be viewed as a shot at other people. But this division is splintered because of Francis, because of John, and now because of you. And you're the young guy. You're the guy who just did that to Sergei. I hate this interim title. And it sounds to me, the question I was going to ask you was, do you view yourself, there's some fighters in the past who have said, oh, interim, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to be, I'll wait for the other one. Are you viewing yourself as the heavyweight king right now? Not the interim heavyweight king, the heavyweight king, period.
Well, as of right now, today, the 13th of November, 2023, I believe is today's date. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
That's correct.
Yep.
I am the best active heavyweight in the world right now in MMA. That's a fact. That's straight up facts. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything. John Jones is inactive right now. Francis Ngannou is inactive right now in MMA. As it stands right now, on today's date, 2023, I am the #1 MMA athlete at heavyweight in the world.
Amen. It's you and Phil DeFries, if I'm being honest. I mean,
Hey, Phil's a dangerous man. I'm not gonna beef with Phil. Phil's my guy. So me and Phil are definitely up there. Yeah, that's right.
I loved seeing his happiness on Saturday as well. Someone needs to teach him about social media because some of the cropping on his pics, I don't know if you said
terrible. I tell him all the time. I say he needs to. So he's got this really strange phone. I've never even seen one before. So it's like you got the phone like this, and then the phone opens kind of like this way.
One of those, yeah.
And it's the worst phone I've ever. It's expensive. You think it cost him like $3,000. He thinks it's the best thing ever. They think I even take a proper picture. It's terrible.
Yeah, we need to teach him about that, but he's doing well in the cage, so it's okay. Last time you were on the show was just about 3 weeks ago now, a little less.
Yeah.
And you told us the great story about the phone call, and then you went to bed, and then you got the phone call the next night, all this stuff. You skipped over one really big detail, one little piece of news or information that you revealed in the post-fight press conference. And I don't want to harp on this too much, but you did post a video on your social media today where you show yourself getting hurt, your back gets injured while you're sparring. And this apparently was just, and we're showing it right now, by the way, this apparently was just a couple of days before that phone call?
No, this was a couple of days. I don't want to harp on this too much because that kind of slipped out, to be honest, in the post-fight interviews and stuff. I didn't really want to talk about it too much. But yeah, this was like So basically, I found out about the fight with just over 2 weeks left to the fight. So I realised, listen, I don't have much time to spar. So I just want to get one good spar under my belt before we basically leave and travel to the US. So I wanted to do like one good spar. This was in the fourth round of sparring. Never experienced anything like it before. I just had some crazy like back spasm. My back just seized up. Nothing really even happened. Like I just threw a couple of punches and my back just stiffened up really badly. And yeah, I was basically unable to work out from that point onwards. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, man, honestly.
To the point where, did you consider pulling out of the fight?
Yes.
Wow. Really? How close were you?
Yeah. Literally a couple of days after, I couldn't really move or walk after I did it. My back I don't even know. It's actually a lot better. I got a lot of treatment on it the last couple of weeks and stuff. So as I started getting treatment and giving it a bit of time and stuff, it did get a little bit better. And luckily my team were amazing and they just shifted everything around so that I could get some really good treatment going and stuff like that. But are you still there? Did you lose me?
Yeah. No. Loud and clear.
Yeah. And yeah, it just took a couple of days. For a couple of days there, I was like, shit, what am I going to do? I've accepted this massive fight. The world knows about the fight now, and I can't move.
Oh, my
But look, we got stuff working, but seriously, nearly worst case scenario we had there. I had no training camp, and then the small training camp that we did within the 2 weeks, I couldn't really participate in most of the stuff that I was doing anyway. So yeah, it was wild, man. It was absolutely crazy. I didn't have a visa. I had to do a million forms with the visa thing, the travel, and I had to go to London a couple of times, which is the opposite side of the country from where I live. And yeah, it was just absolutely insane couple of weeks, mate. Absolutely crazy.
And so, like, on fight week in New York last week, how are you dealing with everything? Because in the back of your mind, like, you didn't train enough for this. You're banged up. It's been very stressful. You were faking it really well. You didn't let on. But internally, how are you dealing with it all?
A lot of anxiety. a lot of anxiety, to be honest. I was completely aware of what I put myself up against. Like, this guy, Sergei Pavlovich, has the most knockouts in the UFC. He's on a six fight first round knockout streak. Absolutely insane. The guy, nobody wants to fight him, especially not on 2 weeks' notice, especially not with it. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was an injury because it's fine. Like, it's all right now. It was just some freak thing that went on for like a week where I couldn't really move. It was really, really weird. So it's not like an ongoing injury, like everything's fine, but it was just like my back just seized up. It was really, really strange. And yeah, just a lot of anxiety over the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you. But I've been doing a lot of, I don't want to say soul searching. I've been doing a lot of knowing where I'm at and finding out what I'm like as a person. And ultimately, this is what draws me to love this sport. Is I want to find out what I'm like as a person. What is Tom Aspinall like when shit goes south? That's what I want to know. And a lot of stuff has been going south for me in this little build up. A lot of obstacles are coming the way. But as I kept saying in the pre-fight interviews and stuff, I know one thing for sure, and I'm definitely not going to win the fight by watching it on TV. I'm definitely not going to do that. And I believe that my skill level is way above all of the heavyweights. I believe that my power, even though I might not look like the hardest hitter in the world, listen, I've got the equalizer. I know that I have to be in there and I have to connect once. And if I connect once, I can put anybody in the world to sleep, as I proved on Saturday. So I'm just really, really happy that I believed in myself when a lot of the odds were against me and I pulled it off.
It's amazing. I know you're such a big GSP fan, and you're probably like the first fighter since GSP to talk so openly about how scared and nervous and anxious you get. You're such a big fan. Like you're developing his same habits.
He's my absolute inspiration. Honestly, I absolutely love the guy. I think inside and outside the octagon, he brings everything that I want to be. Everything that I want to be is that guy. And yeah, I'm getting a little choked up speaking about it, to be honest. He's an incredible person, incredible athlete, and he's just so self-aware. His mind works in a really, really special way, and that's what I want my mind to work like. Like, he is incredible, and I have absolutely no issue in speaking about how anxious or how scared I am. My ego doesn't have to get involved in this stuff. Like, I'm happy. Like, I was way more anxious in the fight on Saturday than I've ever been in any fight in my life, and I did what I did. I shocked the world. I went over there in the worst circumstances, and I pulled it off, and I'm really proud of myself.
Were you feeling that way because of everything that you had to deal with going into the fight, or is it just because of the opponent or the stakes, the venue, or is it just like a big pot of all that stuff mixed together?
Just everything,
Yeah.
everything. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. Like, one minute I'm getting woke up in the middle of the night by the UFC, and next minute I'm in the middle of Times Square with my face all over the place. MSG, no training camp, everything going wrong. This back thing pops up, and everybody shows up for the fight. Do you know what I mean? There were so many big names there, so many big celebrities. I'm over there fighting in the garden. It's absolutely wild, and there was just a lot of pressure on me, but I obviously perform well under pressure. So I'm very, very proud of myself, very happy with myself, very proud of everything that I've done to get to this point. And yeah, mission complete.
Amen.
Mission complete. Everything from here on out is just a bonus. You know, I'm the UFC champion right now. That was what I set out to do. And now I'm fighting for legacy. I want to be the best heavyweight ever.
And so when you were thinking about the fight, was there, we still see you. I don't know if you still see us?
Yeah, still got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Sorry, I had a call.
When you were thinking about the fight, dreaming about it, honestly, did that scenario play out? A quick finish, 69 seconds against Sergei Pavlovich? Like, this doesn't happen. Did you think that was a chance? There was a chance of that happening, or were you buckling up for a longer fight? And your fights don't usually last long. I think it's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds on average. But considering him and considering the training camp, what were you thinking?
You stick me in a cage with anybody, it can always be over quick. I've got unbelievable power and speed. That I'm unbelievably athletic for a big guy. I can always knock somebody out or finish him from any position. But in all honesty, I thought this was going to be a long one. I thought that I'm going to have to make him miss a lot. I'm going to have to get him tired a lot because he's so big and strong and dangerous. I thought I'm going to have to get out of the way of a lot of them punches before I start attacking. But yeah, I seen an opening. I took it, and the rest is history.
What's it like to get punched by him?
It's not great. he definitely punches hard, but I think he's punched a lot of people square in the face like that, and they've gone over. So ideally, I'd like to not get punched by him at all. That's the ideal performance. But yeah, he got me. He got me with a couple, and yeah, I'm good with it.
I loved your. Is everything good there? Oh, we lost you. Hey. What's up, Ariel? Oh, I saw myself on the screen. It's so weird that happens.
We'll get him.
Yeah, we'll get him back. I told him I wouldn't take up too much of his time. There's just so much I want to ask him about, you know. Oh my God, what a win it was for Tommy A. Tommy A. beats Sergei Pavlovich in 69 seconds. Feels like the heavyweight champion of the world. Oh, just the third UK champ in UFC history. Of course, Michael Bisping, UFC 199. Leon Edwards defeating Kamaru Usman last August, not this past August, previous August 2022 in Utah. And then this one, look at that. It's a big boy falling down. And what I loved so much about it was the celebration right there. It's like he lost all control of his body. He was just like a fish out of water. Pure emotion. This is what I think people love so much about Tom. He doesn't put on a front. He doesn't try to be all like Mr. Macho. Oh, there he is. He's back. Tom, you see me?
Yes, sorry about that. I had some issues with the phone then. We're all good.
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Cool. Can I ask about the celebration? Like I was saying you it felt like you just like lost all control of your body. Like you just didn't know what to do. Like you were like a fish out of water. Is that what it felt like?
It wasn't the most attractive celebration.
No, it was tremendous. It was tremendous.
I was just so emotional, I was just so emotional. I just cried the rest of the night, to be honest. I couldn't hold back the tears any longer. It's like, yeah, every time I seen someone who I knew, I just started crying, basically. It was just wild. Yeah, I think it was just the relief, the stress of the last couple of weeks and stuff, and the stress of the last, it's been a long journey. I've been involved in martial arts since I was 8 years old. I've given up on myself a lot of times, and I'm glad that it's all paid off. It's been a long, long journey, man. And like I said, anything from this point, like they can never take that away from me. I'm the
Right.
UFC heavyweight champion of the world now. I can lose my next 10 fights and I've achieved what I set out to achieve. But I've achieved it. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of everybody that helped me. And I just hope that everybody from every gym that I've ever been to, or anyone that's helped me in any kind of way, can be proud of me as well.
I'm sure they are. Did you lose hope? Did you lose faith in yourself in July of 2022?
For a second, for a couple of seconds there, I did. Yeah. But it's all paid off. Luckily, I've got a lot of people around me who believe in me. And yeah, it didn't take me too long. What else am I going to do in my life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm a lifelong martial artist. I put everything into this. So maybe for a day or two there, I was definitely giving up. But we're all good. We're back. That's in the past now. We're moving forward.
By the way, can I ask you about hugging, Sergei? Before, I don't know, it felt like someone saying, like, "Son, I'm about to take you to school." Okay, I don't know. I've never quite seen that before. What prompted you to do this?
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen a couple of pictures and memes and stuff since, and it looks a bit strange. Ultimately, I wasn't doing anything like. For me, the way I look at opponents are opponents. They're not enemies. Sergei is not my enemy by any means. Sergei is my guy. Sergei is my brother. He was like, I look at him as not a friend, you know what I mean? But I've got a lot of respect for him before, during, and after the fight. He's not my enemy. He's someone I'm in there to do a sport with. I'm in there to do my job, and I have absolutely no ill feelings towards him or anybody else in who I fight, who I'm going to fight, who I'm fought in the past. Like, I have nothing but respect for everybody who does this sport. And yeah, I know it look kind of awkward on camera, but I was just trying to show a little respect before the fight. That's all.
I know you were asked about giving the belt to your father, and it was such a great moment when you gave him the belt in the cage. And we've learned so much now about your relationship with your father, Andy. In large part, I would say, because he only does one podcast, The Crack with Pete Carroll. It's like his exclusive home. He only speaks to Pete, and rightfully so. Pete was there a lot earlier than all of us. But I'm just wondering, like, when you were gone, I saw the photos of you. I think Oscar Willis took a couple. Like, you're in Times Square. Like, I don't know what time it was at that point, 4 or 5 a.m. When all the dust kind of settled, and it's you and your dad and your team. Like, what was that like with him being there, not in the cage, not at MSG, but like once it started to get to 4 or 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. What was that like? And you guys now have the belt in your possession.
He just said that I did good. That's it. Pretty simple, really. My dad's like doesn't mince his words or anything. Like you say, he's a pretty laid back, quiet guy. He's not trying to get no attention from no one. He speaks to Pete because he knows Pete. That's the reason why he'll speak to him. But yeah, he believed in me way before I believed in myself. You got to remember, who I am right now at 30 years old is not who I was at 8 years old. I was a shy, timid kid who didn't believe in myself at all. And he kind of brought that out in me through the years of conversation, years of travel, years of traveling to tournaments all around the country, traveling all around the world at this point to fight, and traveling to the gym every day. Like, we've had a million conversations, and he expected it. He expected it even more than I did. So yeah, he didn't say too much. He just said, "You should be proud of yourself. You did come there." And I just said, "Thank you for everything."
That is amazing. Did you guys just walk around town with the belt late at night?
Yeah, it was like it was late though. It was probably like 4 or 5 a.m. New York's always busy,
sure,
especially Times Square. But around about that time, most people were either extremely drunk or on some kind of drugs, so nobody really cared too much.
And no one came up to you? No one was like...
Yeah, people came up, of course, but it wasn't too busy.
Okay. The scenes were great, just like you in the middle of Times Square with the belt, getting the opportunity to do that. Just absolutely amazing. What was it like when you got to speak to your family, your wife and kids?
Yeah, just tears, a lot of tears, because of the time difference and stuff. So I absolutely love my kids more than anything in the world, and it just brought me straight back down to earth, because I spoke to my oldest kid, who's now 7, but so he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on a little bit. So I spoke to him and I said, "Oh, he didn't know. His mum didn't tell him at this point because he just woke up."
Oh, wow.
And he said, I said, "Oh, I won the fight." And he said, "Oh, are you the champion now? I said, yeah, I'm the champion now. I'm number one in the world now. And he said, oh, that's good. I just got a new book yesterday. just started telling me about his book. So yeah, I absolutely love that about kids. And even like this morning, I got back this morning just before they left for school, and mate, they don't care if I won or lost. They just care. They're just excited that Dad's home. Do you know what I mean? And I absolutely love that. Like, that's the most amazing thing ever. They couldn't care. It doesn't make a difference to their life at all if I won or lost. They're just happy to see me back, and that's amazing.
Did your wife stay home?
She's home. She stayed home. Yeah.
She didn't come to New York. She wants nothing to do with all this limelight, spotlight, nothing.
No. I like to keep my private life private.
Okay.
And that's it. She's been to fights before. She doesn't like that kind of. She's not trying to be like any kind of famous or anything like that. Like, I never put my kids in that position or anything like that, because ultimately I chose to be in the position where I am. Like, that's a byproduct of my success, and I'm aware that being kind of famous or well known, it becomes a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, and I shouldn't put somebody in that spot who doesn't want to be there, especially children and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, my wife's not really about that kind of stuff at all. She's if she could have been there, she would have been there, but with the logistics and the kids and all that, we just couldn't make it over in that short time period.
The only reason I was asking was when you called her, I'm sure she was up before the kids when you called her and were able to speak to her. That must have been incredible as well.
Well, originally my dad called her and she didn't pick up. She didn't answer. But I think she knew. Obviously, she knew straight away. And yeah, it was just. I actually only spoke to her properly when I got back to the hotel. So it was like hours later. I had a shitload of media to do and all that kind of stuff. But it was very emotional. Very emotional.
I don't want to keep you much longer, so I just want to ask you about the future now, because I remember the last time prior to our conversation that we were talking online. I had Cyril Gane on the show, and I asked him about fighting you, and he seemed not too keen on the idea. And then wouldn't you know it, on Saturday he tweeted about you, and and so I was saying at the beginning of the show, like, what is going to happen here? Are they just going to keep Tom on the sideline for a year and a half? Are they? I don't know if you've heard anything that I've said, but like, I hate this. This should have been for the undisputed title. When John Jones comes back and wants to fight Stipe, that fight is big enough without a title. You should be able to defend the title against Cyril or Curtis or Jalton Almeida or whomever. And then if he wants to fight you, great. But now you've got this very awkward situation with one guy with the belt who just wants to fight one particular guy, and you out there wanting to fight everyone, including that guy who has that belt. And so I'm just curious, a long way to ask, how do you think this whole thing plays out? How do you think this actually goes down?
Me personally, I think that Stipe and Jones is an absolutely amazing matchup. But in my opinion, that was an amazing matchup for this weekend just gone, this past weekend. And I feel like the shine of that fight has kind of gone. I don't know how anybody else feels about that. But I feel like now they need to make either me and John Jones or me and Stipe. Because, like, say, what's kind of the point in the other stuff? Like, let's move forward. Let me fight one of the legends now, and let me move forward with my career, as opposed to doing this other stuff and waiting around. And like that fight was amazing. That's an amazing matchup. But I don't want to see that, and I don't think anyone else wants to see that in a year's time. Like, let's move on from that now, and let me fight one of the legends and beat the legends.
Do you think that will happen?
Yeah, I do think that'll happen. Yeah.
You think it plays out you versus John or you versus Stipe first?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know Stipe seems to be pretty hell-bent that he wants to fight John, but listen, I'm the champion right now, and I can sell out them UK shows, no dramas, and I know these guys are looking to do a stadium over here, and what a way to do it! What a way to do it with the UK heavyweight champion of the world. Let's do it in the UK. Perfect world. When would you like to return? I'd like to return in the summertime sometime. Okay. I think I've a little rest up the body a little bit, rest up the mind a little bit, enjoy what I've just done. It's been an absolutely crazy journey. But mate, I'm hungry to go. Like, I've got a little taste of greatness now. and I want to keep that going. I want to go down as the best heavyweight to ever step foot in the octagon ever. And I think I've just turned 30 years old. I'm perfectly capable of doing that, and I want to be active.
So perhaps like a July UK show, perfect for you.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
And you said Manchester, but if it's in July, we could go to Old Trafford. We could go anywhere.
Absolutely. And it doesn't just have to be the UK. Do you know what I mean? There's a million places all over the world, but I can sell it. I'm pretty sure now I can sell anywhere in the world.
Yes.
But why not in the UK? Do you know what I mean? We deserve it. We've got the first ever UK heavyweight champion now. Why not? That's the pinnacle of the sport right there. Am I wrong? I think I'm right.
No, you're 100% right.
I think we should absolutely do it in the UK.
Are you feeling your life changing in front of your eyes? There's a lot of massive superstars coming out of the UK in the combat world, but also football and whatnot. You're now entering that conversation, and you're going to be treated like that and covered like that. Are you starting to feel that attention coming your way, and are you comfortable with this? Because I know sometimes you like to be away from the limelight a little bit.
Yeah, I do. I do definitely like quiet time, and that's for sure. But I got to be ready for it. I've got to. I've got no choice at this point. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, so throw me in, and we'll adjust on the fly as always.
Was there a message or two that you got that really stood out, other than your conversation with your family and whatnot? Like, did someone send you a message? Did you get a DM or something from someone that you're like, holy crap, this is really impactful what I've done?
I got a lot of great messages. I'm so lucky to have so many great messages. And I got a lot of messages off a lot of fighters that I look up to, a lot of celebrities who I look up to and stuff like that. But to be honest, this is going to be wild, and you will have no idea what this is, because the area that I'm from, we have a rugby team here, and there's a guy who owns the rugby team. He's called Derek Beaumont, and the team's called Lead Leopards. And he sent me a message, and he's not like a high profile guy. He's not a celebrity or anything. He just sent me a video message, and it was one of the most powerful messages I've ever seen.
Wow.
And he said, honestly, I'm getting a bit choked up thinking about it. He said that I've got everything. I've got the speed. I got the power. I got the grit. I got the determination. And the one thing that I didn't have was an opportunity. And I got my opportunity, and I took it. And it paid off.
Incredible. Next, I want to see you with Louis Theroux. We need that.
Oh, I'd love to.
We need that.
Absolutely.
I know this is your favorite show, but it's okay if you go on the Louis show, because that would be incredible to see
thanks.
you and
Thank
Louis
you.
together.
I would absolutely love that.
I've taken up too much of your time, Tom, so I will let you go. So happy for you. Delighted. There's some times where this sport breaks your heart, and there's some bad people in this sport, and you feel shitty about this sport. And then things like what happened on Saturday happen, and you see how good of a person you are, and your father and your family, and what you represent, and how you conduct yourself, and you're reminded why we love this sport, why I love this sport. So thank you for being that representative and going after your dreams and struggling, and then coming back and showing people that it's okay to be emotional and anxious and whatnot. If you go out there and do it, good things will come your way. So enjoy everything that comes with this. Couldn't be happier for you. And I hope you get that John Jones fight in 2024.
Thank you very much. And thanks for the support always. I really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, Tom. All the best. Thank you again. There he is. The great Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Na. Tommy Aspinall. Sing it, Frank. Sing it. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.